Welcome to Badminton Weekly. I'm Colette Wong. This month, the HSBC BWF World Tour is in Europe on a 4-tournament run starting this week in Finland. The European challenge for these events lies mainly in men's singles and doubles. Anders Antonsen and Christo Popov will look to defend their titles in Denmark and Germany, while Danish pair Kim Astrup and Anders Skarrup Rasmussen carry the hopes of the region to once again go deep into the tournaments, having reached the finals of the Arctic and Denmark Opens last October. Chris Langridge analyzes the state of Danish men's doubles and whether there is a cause for concern.
It's hard because they are, to be honest, kind of carrying men's doubles in Europe just because they are by far, the highest ranked men's doubles pair in Europe and the best. It's difficult for them because both of them are at the later stage of their career. They're not young anymore. There's a greater chance of a few niggles. And there's a lot of young pairs coming through, and a lot of people know their style because they've been around for so long. So to video analyse them isn't difficult because there's a lot of footage out there over the last, it's almost the last 15 years. They've been around that long. It's hard because, for me, Søgaard and Kjær, the second-ranked men's doubles pair, I always thought there was just a little something missing, but they hadn't quite reached their potential, and the news has now come out that they're going to part ways and there's going to be a new partnerships formed. But then we go down and Lundgaard and Vestergaard, they're a little bit lower, as in not quite as experienced. They have loads of potential. It hasn't quite happened. They have had some good performances, but they can't quite get that consistency as a pair. It's difficult because we have to go back a little bit of time, and it is a little bit of time, maybe something like 8 years ago, when Denmark had 3 men's doubles pairs top 10 in the world. You had Boje and Mogensen, who probably are the best ever Europeans. You then had Conrad and Kolding, who were a very, very good pair. And then you had Kim and Anders, who are currently obviously still playing. And, that was exceptional. That was very, very impressive. But now, when you look at the number 1 pair, Kim and Anders they are still doing well. But then when we go down to 2, who kind of have just split up, Søgaard and Kjær, and then 3, Vestergaard, Lundgaard, who now kind of are 2, it just doesn't have quite the same depth. But can they transform things? They've got young players coming through. They've got Mathias's nephew, William Bøje, who he's a good player. He really is. He has loads of potential, and he's really impressed me over the last sort of 8-9 months how much he's improved. Christian Kjær, for me, he is a bit special because I haven't seen all of the young players over the last 10 years come out of Europe. But he is probably one of the most exciting because he is special. He is very good. Now, that doesn't always transpire into being very, very good because lots of things along the way maybe don't work. His new partnership, from what I've heard, he's going to play with Kjær. How's that going to go? No one knows. On paper, it should be exciting, but he's going to have a bit more pressure on him now. Christian, just because now he's playing with a more experienced player. He's shown he has really good potential. But before, when you're coming through, it's a bit like no pressure. But now I think people are going to expect a bit more because they are, in theory, going to maybe be the 2nd or 3rd ranked pair in Denmark. But he is very, very good. I would say, to be honest, he's one of the best young players I've seen coming through since somebody like Mogensen. And that's only because I saw Mogensen when he was young and he was exceptional. I don't want to get too excited for the Danish fans because I don't want to say he's going to be as good as Carsten Mogensen, who was part of probably the greatest European men's doubles pair ever with Mathias Bøje. But Christian Kjær, he is very good. And I would say in the next 2, 3, 4 years, if he doesn't get top 20 in the world, I would be a bit surprised. I'd say right now, it's maybe not quite the same depth that we're used to in the past, but the next 2, 3 years are going to be interesting because how long can Kim and Anders keep playing for? Just because they are getting a bit older, and I know what it's like to play at that age, and it's not easy. Hendra Setioan did make it look easy, but he is the exception. When they do stop, are we going to see another pair or pairs kind of fill that gap? I don't know, if I'm honest. I don't know, because I think at the moment the gap is just a little bit too big.
Kim Won-ho and Seung won their 8th title of 2025 at the Suwon Victor Korea Open, adding to 6 HSBC BWF World Tour trophies and the World Championships gold. The current record for most titles won in a season is held by Kento Momota, who won 11 in 2019. In men's doubles specifically, that record stands at 10. You have to go back to 1988, when Chinese men's doubles pair Lee Young-guo and Tian Bin-yi went on a 10-title run. With 9 tournaments remaining in the year and 4 coming up this month, Kim and Seo are 2 titles away from matching the record and 3 away from breaking it.
또 저희 그렇게 생각을 못했었는데 또 이렇게 또 기록을 깰 수 있는 또 기회가 온다는 거에 더 감사하게 생각을 하고 또 거기에 연연하지 않고 한 경기 한 경기 최선을 다해서 올해 또 마무리 잘하도록 하겠습니다.
일단 그런 기회가 주어진 거에 감사하게 생각을 하고 한번 기회가 왔으니 한번 또 준비를 잘해서 잘 잡아보려고 합니다.
A closer target would be matching Marcus Fernaldi-Gideon and Kevin Sanjaya Sukamuljo's run of 9 titles in 2019. The Indonesians were the last pair to truly dominate the discipline. Kim and Seo remember that year clearly and fondly.
그 케빈이나 이제 기대현 선수 너무 잘했던 선수고 저도 몇 년 전에 보면서 그렇게 하고 싶었던 생각을 많이 했었고 그러면 동기를 많이 가졌기 때문에 항상 존경하는 선수인 것 같습니다.
네, 저도 같은 생각이고 이제 대단한 선수였다는 걸 알고 있기 때문에 또 저희도 한 번 더 그렇게 할 수 있게 최선을 다하겠습니다.
Their recent challengers, Fajar Alfian and Muhammad Shahibul Fikri, believe the Koreans can certainly repeat the feat, but would like to instead disrupt their plans.
Ya, itu tidak ada yang tidak mungkin ya. Mereka juga mempunyai kombinasi yang sangat baik. Dulu ada Minion dari Indonesia dan sekarang mereka juga menguasai di sektor ganda putra. Tapi masih ada kami. Kami pengen membalas kekalahan 2 minggu beruntun ini di China dan di Korea di next tournament. Semoga kami bisa.
Mathias Christiansen and Alexandra Bøje returned to the HSBC BWF World Tour at the end of July, and in a span of 2 months have won a Super 300 and a Super 100 title. They've also reached the semi-finals of a Super 500. Their return has been nothing short of impressive, and Chris Langridge believes that it's just a matter of time before they're back among the world's top 10 pairs.
I think every badminton player out there will have an incredible amount of respect for Christiansen just because he had a very difficult situation that occurred. And wow, how he has come back from that is truly incredible. And I would say inspiring, if I'm honest, because when you have that duration out of competition and high-level competition, often it can take months to get back into the run of things. And you've got extra pressure because everyone's looking at you. Oh my goodness, he is better than before, without a shadow of a doubt. And as a partnership, I've got to be honest, now Zheng Siwei has stopped, who was the superstar of mixed doubles, especially as a male player. To me, he was the greatest ever. Now he's stopped, I would say, when it comes to men in mixed doubles, it's quite open. I don't believe there's a man that is shining very brightly that is by far the best. Somebody like Christiansen, he's up there. He's up there top 5 men. When they have lost so far, very competitive. It's been nip and tuck. It could have gone either way. It's not really that I've watched them play and thought they were outclassed or outplayed. And I think something in the past that maybe was holding him back slightly would be sometimes I felt his frustration was just a bit too much, and it would hinder his performance. He would get almost so frustrated at himself or things weren't quite working. But since he's come back, he is like a different guy. I feel the kind of the psychological stuff he's done, because he is very different. And for Europe especially, it's amazing because in the doubles categories, Asia is so dominant that yes, you've got Tom and Delphine from France doing phenomenally well in the mixed doubles, but it's great for Europe to have another really high level mixed doubles. If they don't get top 10 in the world, I will be shocked. Again, what duration? Because they're chasing points, so it's going to be quite tough for them because they're going to have to play a lot of tournaments to try and get up there, because at the moment they're not getting into the main draws easily of the big tournaments because their ranking's so low. So yeah, it's amazing to have them back, and incredible start to their partnership since the quite big, obviously, time off.
Moving on now to the more technical side of badminton in this segment of Catch My Drift. High-flying Danish mixed doubles pair Jesper Toft and Amalie Magelund give us the lowdown on the different serves in badminton.
Hey, I'm Jesper Toft and this is my partner Amalie Magelund. We play mixed doubles for Denmark, and today on Catch My Drift we're going to break down the different serves in badminton. Let's get into a position.
Now I will explain some of the service rules. You have to serve cross, and then you have to stand still on your feet, and then you have to serve the service over the front line.
So one of the rules there is also is that you need to hit the cork of the feather first and hit it under 1.15, like this.
It's into the net from Christiansen. Toft and Magelund have taken the Orléans Masters mixed doubles title.
Now I will demonstrate what we call the low T serve, where I'm aiming and try to hit in the middle of the T. I will show you. And the strategy is that if the serve is really good and hitting the point, your opponent will have really difficult have to find the angles. So if you deliver the serve really nice, you get a really good opportunity. That's why the low T is a really good serve.
He's got one of the best serves I've seen this week, you know. That one caught the net and landed on the line.
The next serve is a short serve where you serve outside to the corner. And the reason why you do that is it's a good variation to the short T, and often your opponent doesn't expect you to serve there, so every time you serve it, you get a really good chance at the next shuttle.
Make it look so easy.
The next serve is a flick serve, where it is a deceptive shot, where it looks like you're doing a short serve, but you're actually doing a flick serve. And the good thing about this serve is that because mostly the opponent is very aggressive on the short serve, so when you use the flick serve, the opponent isn't always ready for it.
A wonderful serve. She's 6 foot tall as well, one of the tallest females on the tour. Has to be an excellent serve to be able to get it over the top of Wijaya.
The next serve is the drive serve, where you hit the shuttle really hard and it goes really flat and quick over the net. And this is a very high risk serve, but also high reward, so it's really good if you want to get a quick point. At international badminton competition level, there are more variations added to the serve, like spin, but these are the main serves in badminton. Hope you had fun with us on court today. See you next time.
That's all for the show today. Join us next week as we look at the big stories coming out of Vanta. In the meantime, stay up to date with the latest news by downloading the BWF app, Badminton for You. And as always, let us know your thoughts, comments, and questions on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Take care. Bye-bye for now.